Hello, our friends, Evolutionary, Hearts Home family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Again, we want to thank everybody that's supporting us at Patreon. We're only 2 members away from a big milestone, so we're looking forward to welcoming 2 more members to our Patreon family. And thank you guys so much for being patient with us on Hearts Home as we go kind of in tangents, and there's been so much news, so that's where we've been kind of focused lately. But we wanted to shift gears here and show you this 7-foot tall, 8,000 pound quartz crystal cluster from Arkansas. Guess where it's on display? At the Smithsonian. Oh, yes. And so we have a cousin, or maybe a brother or a sister to this cluster right here, and it is the size of Cindy's laptop. It is, I think this has to weigh 20 pounds.
It's pretty heavy, yeah.
It's got to be, it's probably 20 to 25 pounds, which we have with us. Thank you, Mama Jan. It was a gift, a Christmas gift from Mama Jan. And, you know, with this particular massive cluster that's on display at the Smithsonian, it comes from the Ouachita Mountains. The Ouachita Mountains, and there's another area in Brazil. Those are the 2 largest quartz crystal cluster areas in the entire world. Just incredible frequency and vibrations there. If you haven't been to the Ouachita, maybe you could check it out at some point in time. It is interesting because, you know, the source of the crystals is something that we've gotten information from the guides about, and we've shared that, gosh, maybe a year or 2 ago. But we'll mention it again. I'll let Cindy go from here.
When I was looking at those, where did those crystal deposits come from? And what they showed me is this very beautiful crystal palace. It was in the sky, you know, from our perspective. If we saw it, we would see a beautiful crystal palace in the sky. It was very much all about healing. It was like a 5D place to go. It had so much energy to it to amplify whatever needed to be amplified. It was just pure magic. It was purely magical. And on the way down in the descent through the ages, it was actually blown up. It was obliterated, and so many crystal pieces ended up in the earth. What the good news is, though, is she still carries her energy. She still carries the memories that were gathered at the time of her, I would say, her height, you know, when she was at her best. So she carries all of that magical healing abilities. And, you know, if you're sensitive enough to read it, you can read them and you can feel them.
Yeah, I would say this crystal is maybe about 4 to 5 inches deep. And I'd say it's probably about 8 inches to 9 inches in width, and then length maybe 14 inches. It's a really big, beautiful crystal, and the power is just incredible. Because remember, crystals are consciousness. They are consciousness, and Cindy calls them our elders.
Yes, they are. They are our elders. They hold our memories. They hold, you know, how the earth and everything around earth came into being. So they're very special. And this one we took out of the box, and oh my gosh, immediately my whole face started vibrating. It was like, wow, she was ready to come out and join the team with Sirius, and we'll talk about Sirius in just a moment. We're waiting for her vibration to unfold. We're waiting for her to be able to give us a name. So we're able to meditate with her today, charge her today. So I wouldn't be surprised just watching the video if you're not getting uploads and downloads already from this beautiful crystal, because she wants to help. She wants to join the family. She wants to help pull us into you know, we are moving into a crystalline base, and these crystals are here to guide us and assist us and reach a lot of people who are in our soul string.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a picture of her. And yes, people can always say, well, it's just the way the light's hitting that's causing this little rainbow pattern. Now, Cindy, will say, I always see faces and things, and I see faces in this. And I don't know what you guys see. I could also see an eye looking at us quite clearly. The energy that comes off of it is just fabulous. I mean, I was meditating with it on my lap when we first opened it up, and I put it on my lap immediately. It's like I had done something. Because again, we neither of us drink alcohol. We don't smoke anything. Cigarettes or non-cigarettes. We don't take any sort of mind-altering chemicals, either legal or not legal. We're completely teetotaling. Well, I'm a coffee addict, but organic only. And right away, crown chakra just so open, but then my foot chakra is incredibly open, like rooting me to the earth. At the same time, the crown chakra is just like being opened as wide as it could possibly go. And then I felt opening in the heart center too. And it was like being STONED to like such a high degree in a very, very pleasant way. And just all the downloads, we had to go just lay down for a little while because we were both dizzy from the energy, which, can happen, does happen. I was going to try to figure out how many people we worked on together over the last 5 years. And then I've worked on also thousands of people with energy work, thousands and thousands, perhaps it's into the tens of thousands now. And, often people, I would have to warn them, take a moment before you go drive, because if you have energy work done and you are used to a closed crown chakra, all of a sudden your crown chakra is opened, it is like you did something. It's like, the wacky weed was in use or something else. But that is why people actually are drawn to those things, because it opens up the chakras. But, again, it's best to do it through meditation, because then you could do it at will with nothing else needed. And you can also do it in such a way that you're only drawing in good entities, powerful, benevolent entities from higher frequencies. So with the crystals, they can do so much. They can amplify, obviously. I'm sure you're all aware of that. Any signals, they are both transmitters and receivers.
Mm-hmm. And I was telling Mike, how wonderful and how beautiful a story it was for her to make her way here. Because crystals don't end up with us by accident, ever. No, they are drawn to you. They are pulled to you. They call you. If you happen to look over on the ground, you see a pretty crystal there. That crystal called you. And this is really the beginning of practicing our telepathy. Our ESP, our abilities, is listening to the crystals, because they do talk. So for her to make it here, she definitely had to reach enough people that were, awake enough to at least have this thought to, okay, pick her up, put her there, put her over there. There's just like this long line of a story that it took for her to actually get here. And ultimately, Mama Jan, she's the one who heard her, and she's the one who put all of this into motion, and here she is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll be utilizing her when we're doing our energy work on a regular basis. And there's another crystal that relatively recently came to us from another family member. And that crystal was searching Cindy out and wanted to get to get herself to Cindy so that the power of that crystal could be utilized by Cindy. And she's been using it for maybe about a month now, I want to say. And so that one she calls Sirius, because she kind of like shared her name with us. Let's see, which one was this? This is the big one. Let's see. I know I got one picture of Sirius in here.
This one is one.
This one. Yeah, this is Sirius. And again, crystals, what's the power of crystals? Well, they are consciousness itself. Everything is ultimately consciousness. Even things that we think of as inorganic materials are still made up of units of consciousness. And these units of consciousness that make up crystals, again, they're tied to the formational consciousness that creates planets and stars. And so they are tied to the realm of creation itself. And they are also thus able to be a transmitter for extremely high frequencies.
Mm-hmm. And she's one that's been working with me on other people, with other people, and many times I'll send a photo, and when I send a photo, these little lights will show up, and I don't have anything blue in my room, and I'm sure there's somebody has a reason, some camera anomaly, that's it, but they show up in different places, the same color blue, with different people, and I just love it. To me, it's her showing her soul. And she's a talker. She's definitely a talker. So when I do send her to people, she's actually able to help them make decisions or help certain information come through if it were blocked. She's definitely an amplifier. And I really believe in our soul stream, now these two crystals are working together to help pull us into that crystalline energy that we are all headed toward, and it's definitely a long road. And I did do a channeling on the crystals earlier. Probably should have recorded it, but I didn't.
Do you remember what came across?
Not really. Not really.
We should
have recorded it. I know. But it was from the Crystal Collective, and they were okay. So they were talking about human emotions and really how very important they are. And these crystals are compounded with their understanding, with their energy, and our emotions, lifetime after lifetime, also become compounded. So they're actually a very useful tool to sewing us from the 3D to the 4D to the 5D. Very good tools to have, and I really believe that we have these crystals because they want to reach a wider audience of people. And Hearts OMMM isn't very big, but you know what? It's so special. It is so special, and those that watch it, they know us, they understand us, and they know the benefit of it, and it feeds the soul. And now we have these crystals to help. So whenever we do work on somebody now, they'll both be here. And Mike and I spent a long time holding our crystals today and charging them while we were doing meditation and mantras. And boy, oh boy, did it amplify that. That felt good.
Yeah. Oh, it was so powerful. So, both the initial time and then we were doing our mantras and making contact with them, it was just incredible, the energy. And, again, you can't underestimate the benefits because they will, again, tie us from what you might call like the first density up into the higher densities from which everything comes. Again, this is a top-down process in so many ways. Like the understanding that when the body is being built, there is an etheric blueprint that is on a higher density that you can't see, but that's how the body develops. It develops to that blueprint. And so, consciousness at the highest levels utilizes, the densest, most dense forms of energy that we have in order to create a foundation upon which all life is going to go explore, learn, and grow. And that is the ultimate purpose. What is our purpose? Well, our purpose is to be us, quite simply. But to learn, to grow, as nothing ever, stays stationary. We are, again, consciousness, and that consciousness is always evolving.
Mm-hmm. So these are two very special crystals. Mama Jan has also sent me other crystals, which have been very, very useful in other videos and working on many different people. These crystals, they're going to join our other crystals. And thank you, you guys. We really appreciate them. And these people who sent them and the crystals for speaking, and to those for listening. And we thank all you guys as well. You know, your energy goes into this, and we're all kind of moving up and out of this density and making the world a little bit better place one day at a time.
Absolutely. And again, anybody that needs to set up a time to make an appointment with us, you could reach us at evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com, evolutionaryenergyarts@gmail.com. As our website was broken into and hacked, and they did disrupt it, I started to put some things back together, but we were hacked, and actually we were hacked pretty big. I got to go and change a whole bunch of things around. So, the dark side's always working, but crystals are always working with us if we will work with them, and they are absolutely very, very effective tools for utilizing and bringing more light into our lives. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. And again, thank you all for being part of this family. Look forward to your comments. Much love, source bless, and namaste.
Namaste.